Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, here I am sitting in front of my computer going day to day to look at where the planetary aspects are so that you can better prepare yourself for what's happening in the stars and in the heavens and how it relates to humanity. Because remember, that's what astrology is. It is the cycles of the planets and how they relate to what's going on here on planet Earth. So before I get going with the third week of August, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org. While you're there, check out my Patreon page. You're going to love it. It gives so many opportunities, and I meet with my people every week. As well as the Galactic Planner. The Galactic Planner will take your chart with your planets and figure all this up for you, and you can make plans in your daily life. It even goes into your calendar on your phone. Imagine that, being prepared for every day in accordance to the stars. What a beautiful gift that is. So go to galacticcenter.org and also go to the galacticplanner.com. And in the Galactic Planner, you will get the first month free. Try it out. It is amazing. And last but not least, I am starting semester 1 with the University of Vedic Astrology. Become my student. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. All right, so let's get going. What are we looking at from August 15th to the 21st? Oh my gosh, this is critical because what I'm seeing here is Mars will be 23 degrees of Taurus. And as I said, this is a sensitive degree in the zodiac. Big time. Things seem to always happen. Major events in the world, that is. And Jupiter sits right there with Mars magnifying it. And Jupiter will be 23 degrees. There were so many events I found where there were planets at 23 degrees. It was mind-blowing. Jupiter was at 23 degrees when we had the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And 23 degrees when, I think it was Uranus was 23 degrees when, yes, Hiroshima was bombed. And I could go on and on. There's so many major events. So it's now. This is the month, mid-August, that I feel the earth is shifting and changing. There are earthquakes occurring this month. I know I said July and August, but I think it's stronger this month. So things are starting to shake. Watch out. The West Coast, Japan, everything is going to start shaking up in the Pacific Ocean. Wait and see. This is the timing of it all. So looking at the 15th of August, the moon sits in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this makes it more powerful, the placement of Jupiter. And the Jupiter, Mars, Uranus sit in the 6th house from the moon. The 6th house can deal with accidents, health problems. A lot is coming up, a lot of health scares and things like that, and storms. I'm seeing this is where everything starts to heat up. Now the moon today is in the nakshatra called Mula. And Mula, I don't mean money. Mula is it's ruled by the god Nariti, god of destruction. So there is so much heating up and destructive forces occurring this day and really this whole week. And if I could say the whole month of August. So this is important. And on the 15th, let's see. Yes, Mercury and Venus. Mercury is still retrograde. Mercury and Venus sit in the 9th house. So things are starting to, people are able to communicate better, get messages across. But there is a serious tone going on in the world. Why? Because Saturn sits in the third house from the moon, meaning communications are taking on a much serious tone around the world. Now I'm looking at August 16th. Mars is still 23 degrees, critical. Jupiter hasn't hit that degree mark yet, but it will. And it's going to be within this week that it does. So I'm going to say the third and the last week of August, we're going to have some major disruption and probably earthquakes or attacks. It could even be an attack. Mars is violence, don't forget. Violent shaking, violence. It's like, what a hot and troubled summer. So take it easy. Now in your personal life, take it easy too. Take care of your health during this time. Want you to get a lot of rest and take care of your health, and recognize too there may be some disruption around your workplace during this time. So let's move forward to August 17th. August 17th, we have the moon is going to be in Uttara Ashada. And Uttara Ashada is the nakshatra that deals with, it's been said to say it's a nakshatra of declarations of war. But I feel like this is the ushering in of something. And let me just say, the moon is conjunct Pluto here in Capricorn. And this can mean major shifts in government changes. What is happening in the political front? This August is going to change everything as to who is running for president, because who we think is may not be. And that's mainly with the Democratic Party. That's all going to shift and change the month of August. I see that. So looking at where the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are, they go to the 8th house from the moon. This is a day of radical shifts and changes. And don't forget, Pluto deals with radical shifts and changes. And even in the sign of Capricorn, it deals with governments. So things from day to day will be changing ridiculously fast, okay? All right, so Mars has crossed over that point. It sits at 24 degrees. And actually, that's conjunct the fixed star Rigel, which is a star of wealth and power. But I've noticed that this degree mark causes trouble in the world. So we're going to see if my assumptions about the trouble are correct this month. So let's move to August 18th. And August 18th, we have Jupiter made it to that 23 degree mark, where it will stay for the next, I'm going to say 23, 24 degrees the next 4 to 5 days. This is critical. And Mars is with Jupiter. So like I say, this is so much to be said about what's happening globally in the world. And yes, they sit in the 6th house from the moon. And the 6th house is struggles, fights, can deal with health issues. And it also particularly deals with, in the 6th house, attacks of some sort. So be aware. Now, the moon is in Capricorn today in the nakshatra Shravana. Shravana's symbol is an ear, so it's time to listen. Pay attention and listen. Do not be doing all the talking, because you have something very valuable that you can learn. If you will shut up and listen, there's a lot to be heard today. Be the listener. And help your friends by listening. People need an open ear right now. People need to be heard. So that's what I'm seeing with this. So let's move it up to August 19th. Jupiter still sits at that critical degree, 23 degrees. Something's up, something big is happening. Now the moon has gone into Aquarius today. And it's in the nakshatra called Dhanishta. Dhanishta symbol is really hollowed out instruments. So it can be a drum or a flute, but that means that there's something that feels empty. There's an emptiness here. So we don't feel connected, we feel empty. But all at the same time, it deals with rhythm and beat and timing. So if you get a sense to go somewhere and do something at a certain time, follow that inclination, because when the moon's in Dhanishta, it can mean the timing is right. It's the timing that needs to be pay attention to and important. Now I do see where the moon is in Aquarius, Venus and the Sun and Mercury are in opposition to the moon. So relationships, you can talk things out, things become clearer and better, and reflect on things and open the lines of communication with your partner, because these planets, 7th from the moon, represent it's a good time to connect with others and express yourself and communicate, really communicate. So let's move to August 20th. And August 20th, the moon, of course, is still in Aquarius, middle of Aquarius, and it will, by the evening, conjunct Saturn. So there is a heaviness, a seriousness in the air. Now, Venus has been opposing the moon and Saturn. Venus has crossed over the opposition with Saturn. And actually, Venus was opposite Saturn on the 19th. So it was actually yesterday. But we're still feeling the lack of connection in relationships, and you're feeling kind of abandoned. Maybe your partner's traveling, or maybe they're focused on something else. You're not getting the attention that you would like or you need. And the same goes for you. Are you giving your partner the attention? Maybe you can't because you're too busy with serious things or travels, but there's a lack of connection yesterday and today with our partnerships, with relationships. And the moon coming together with Saturn is heavy. And the moon is in the nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada. And this particular nakshatra, like I said, can be two-faced. It can deal with a person giving the essence of one side of them, but there's another side, so be aware. It's not always a bad thing. Maybe it's just that they are putting on their happy face for you, but there's a deep unhappiness within. And I actually see that with people around the world. They're not truly coming from a place of joy right now because people are concerned on what's happening. Now, with the Jupiter-Mars being in Taurus, they're actually in the 4th house from the moon. And this could be a good day if you need to look at real estate, if there's something about fixing up your home, fixing it up, something about the home improvements are good for today. The other aspect is you can start looking at real estate if that's something that you really need to do, because being in this placement from the moon is very positive for searching for a new home or renovating and doing things within your home. And be aware, if your mother's still alive, she may need you to visit and to look after and make sure she's okay. All right, so we're gonna go to one more day this week, August 21st. And Jupiter is still at 23 degrees, that critical degree. The whole time it's 23 degrees, something big can happen. Either the outbreak of war or earthquakes or attacks, whatever. This is a critical time. And I must alert people to the seriousness of this month. And there's storms, there's all sorts of things happening. And actually today the moon has moved into Pisces, and it has just crossed over Neptune. And Neptune, and they both sit close to 5-6 degrees of Pisces, which is conjunct the fixed star sheet. That is a star of sorrow. But let me just say, it could deal with winds and storms because, I mean, Neptune is the planet of the oceans, the storms, the storm god, Poseidon, Neptune. The moon is conjunct this, and the moon is in the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada, which is a nakshatra of the deepness, things that go deep, serious, deep. Profound thinkers have this. So it is a time of profound thinking. But the moon sits with Neptune. So people are not clear about what they want or what they're doing. Neptune is fogginess. Neptune can be, actually it can be fog and steam. Something's happening in accordance to water that could cause sorrow and problems. Could be earthquakes, could be storms. Something is happening. And with the moon being in Pisces, it's aspecting Ketu in Virgo, and this represents some kind of backtrack with something, possibly with illness or problems with disease. Again, are we serious? I don't think anybody's going to go into lockdown, but this is a crazy time. Expect the unexpected. Jupiter still sits at 23 degrees for really the rest of this month, and that's crucial. It's critical. So I want you to be aware. Be aware of what's going on in the world. And I want you to know that the Sun, Venus, Mercury sit in the 6th house from the moon. So this is critical in terms of disease and problems and fighting. We got to get past this point, and we will. But right now, don't trust things, but do pay attention to your intuition. Neptune is intuition. Just don't be delusional. Don't be clouded by illusions of grandeur, because that's sometimes what Neptune can do. It can make us delusional, make us see things with a cloud, not seeing things clearly. Be sensible during this day. Hey, it's a good day though to go to the movies and relax and just dream, not be serious. So that covers the entire 3rd week of August. And I'm sorry I'm being a little detrimental, but I have seen some serious things happen when the planets are at these points in the zodiac. So we must be prepared. And when you're prepared, things aren't as bad. That's all I'm saying. So remember, if you would like to learn more about me, get a reading. If you would like to learn about my Patreon, get my free newsletter, go to galacticcenter.org. And remember, sign up for my Galactic Planner, galacticplanner.com. And if you want to learn Vedic Astrology, become my student. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.